I'm Ryan Carlson with Health Jump, and I'm here with Joe Bhaimia, who is the Vice President of Enterprise Sales and Channel Partnerships at Inbox Health. So thank you so much for sitting down in this booth to talk about yourself.
Happy to. Excited to be here.
What do they do?
We do patient engagement, patient communication, and patient support, primarily for the revenue cycle space in that target market.
So who would that target customer be that you take a problem and make it go away?
Think of billing companies, small, medium, or large. So anybody that's touching revenue cycle to some degree, and billing patients for that ever-growing patient responsibility that we're also aware of. We can help that post-adjudication, patient communication, patient payment logic, and patient support, so we're actually communicating with them in the channel that they prefer.
That's awesome. So what is the main problem that they experience that you make go away?
Ballooning patient responsibilities that never get collected, and the terrible patient experience that leads to.
Right, like getting called and hassled, and so where do you see, what is it that you're doing that uniquely solves this problem to, one, improve the experience, but what's the success story look like? What is happy resolution?
Happy resolution looks like a billing company that's supporting anywhere from 100 to 500 practices. They've got 6 or 7 disparate EHR and practice management systems that they're dealing with, and they're not doing a really good job of collecting on patient responsibility. Their providers are telling them it's a bigger and bigger issue for them, but they still want to be able to deliver the right patient experience that's still delightful and not turning patients away. So we take that problem and say, hey, we're going to integrate in an agnostic way to any of the EHR PM systems that are out there that you're supporting. We're going to bill them and communicate to them omni-channel, text message, email, chat, things that you would expect to see in your personal life or through a DoorDash subscription.
So you're meeting them where they're at in their communication cycle.
Absolutely.
So is it that does every patient then, are they effectively subscribing to how I pay my bills and how I want to communicate about it, or what does that look like?
Usually they're telling the practice, hey, I'd like to get a text message or an email versus a paper statement, and they know paper statements aren't doing the job at communicating effectively. I myself, being a patient, usually take that paper statement and either can't understand it or just throw it away. But if you sent that to me digitally, and I had the opportunity to ask a question via text message, not only are you communicating with me the right way, you're giving me the right experience.
Okay, I could actually, this is the thing, I got 3 kids and all this stuff, so I could send a message just like some of my online banking. I can send a text message now to my online bank and get conflict resolution without having to, you are on hold for 45 minutes. When I can text, who is receiving this text message? Is it someone at Inbox Health, or is it the billing service themselves?
We have both models. Someone at Inbox Health can receive that. Predominantly, our billing company partners are staffing it themselves, using our infrastructure layer to be able to, again, agnostically look at all their EHR systems and have a staff member be able to pull up a patient at any practice and any EHR PM system at any time.
I imagine that there's all of the round robin or call queuing, just like you'd get in a VoIP phone system, right?
To some degree, yes, but we've actually really just simplified the logic. We know billing companies aren't in the business of call staff centers. They'd rather spend that time going after insurance responsible amounts, and that's what we want them to do too. So instead, we make it really easy. We pop up any of the relevant chats to the right representative at the right time, and enable them to communicate and resolve any of the issues that are happening, but also communicate back to the practice if necessary.
So my question is then, so if these are the pains, you make them go away, what is it that Inbox Health is doing that's uniquely addressing these problems? What is it that is the premium differentiator that you can only get through Inbox Health?
Great question. I think it's twofold. It's omni-channel communication, right? Finding the patient where they want to be communicated. Not having a gated portal that prevents them from actually making a payment without logging in. We know patients don't know their patient portal logins. That's not the right experience. Let's eliminate that completely. And then the other side of it is supporting that, right? You talked about being able to text message somebody in return, what that would do for a bill you got from your child's pediatrician, as do I. If I could text and get the support in real time, rather than a 6-minute phone call with a 20-minute hold time, those are the two areas that we're really enabling in the revenue cycle space that make us, stand apart.
So everyone wants to talk about the pandemic.
Yeah.
And if this were a drinking game, I wouldn't be giving interviews right now.
Sure.
But it's not. So I'm only drinking water. So we all win there.
Yeah.
How is the pandemic, since what I found in healthcare is that it's exacerbating certain growing pains that we were already feeling.
Yeah.
So which of the growing pains became streaming pains that Inbox Health has observed, and which of those have you risen to meet the challenge of?
So I think one thing we see in the pandemic is, a lot of telemedicine, right? So you've got your normal primary care provider, specialty provider that might have been delivering care in office and now is doing it via telemedicine, but they really haven't, brought any sophistication to their patient communication process. It's just that visit, everything else is still manual or on paper. Those two don't add up. We've seen that if we can communicate digitally for patient communication, just like we are delivering care, again, better experience, better outcome, and more than likely the right patient retention. And that's something that we've definitely seen be exacerbated and we're solving today.
One of the things that I recognized in areas like what you're doing, you're automating, and it's not webifying, you're digitizing, creating tools that have effective user experiences for someone like a billing service who's not an IT or software company, right?
No.
I see more and more companies that have these new job responsibilities, and now I'm my own IT, I'm all my own, there's all these things that have nothing to do with processing and billing claims and getting to the bottom of things, and So what has the response been of those that didn't have Inbox Health? What was their experience before, and what is the feedback that you typically get? Tell me what you hear from people that are like, what do they say?
Their story now is typically, hey, we're increasing patient collection performance by 20 to 40%. We have a better patient experience, so if we're doing any customer satisfaction, patient satisfaction, those scores are going up. And we are differentiating ourselves against other billing company competitors or revenue cycle competitors because we're doing something they don't. We're addressing a problem that our competitors are ignoring, and therefore we're enabling the team to go out there and win more business.
What is the hardest part about, where do you see the most friction in supporting a diverse number of different practices, right? Yeah. And what are you doing to be accessible to so many different practices?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You called out the fact that the ambulatory space has a ton of challenge and disparity in it. There's 1,000,001 EHR and PM systems, and there are different ways of delivering service that really make that world unique from acute or post-acute. What we're doing is saying, hey, let's figure out a way to be agnostic. We don't care what EHR system or practice management system you're using. We'll figure out a way to communicate with them. And what we're trying to do is make that world smaller, to your point, by not requiring the same level of integration that the practice has to take on their own. If we can do that at a platform level, we really enable their growth and ours as well.
That's really exciting. So I'm excited to see the future of Inbox Health. These guys continue to have this success story and make more billing companies get a focus on the billing.
Yeah.
And those numbers, though, as far as the increased collections, is fantastic. I know it's a thankless job, and now if there's a robot to help make it easier, I figure that's a lot easier. So thank you so much for coming here and just talking about Inbox Health and sharing your story.
Thanks for having us. Really great to be here.
Absolutely.